Good day everyone. I'll be sharing with you today about thyroid health and thyroid problems. Marami ang may problema sa kanilang thyroid glands. Mayroon silang hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, yung iba ay may Hashimoto disease, pero hindi nila alam na may Hashimoto disease sila. Hashimoto disease is a cause for hypothyroidism. Yung iba naman mayroong Graves' disease. Pag may Graves' disease ka, ito ay nagli-lead sa hyperthyroidism. Later on, I'll be discussing about safe natural remedies for these thyroid problems. So, join me now and let's go with our discussion. Now let's understand the workings of the thyroid glands. When thyroid health suffers, maintaining a whole body balance is thrown off. This ultimately leads to crippled body functions like energy changes, fatigue, mental decline, among others. Thyroid health is dependent upon the condition of the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is a small gland located at the base of the neck below the Adam's apple. There is left and right lobes of the thyroid gland. On screen is a picture of the thyroid gland and where it is located in the neck region. Let's take the overview of the thyroid function. Thyroid function in its metabolic roles are reliant on nutrient feedback signals. The deficiency of certain nutrients causes the unfavorable expressions of many physiological activities that further diminish good health. Thyroid health is key to good metabolism. Metabolism can be classified into two: constructive and destructive metabolism. The first means synthesis of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats that make up tissues and energy storage. The latter refers to the breakdown of complex substances that consequently leads to energy production as well as disintegration of waste products of the body. The thyroid gland produces hormones that coordinates many of the body's functions and communicates with the adrenal, the pituitary, the hypothalamus, and the adrenal glands, as well as the liver, the kidneys, and the skeletal muscles. In effect, all these lead to the promotion of normal biophysical growth, development, and well-being. Thus, when the thyroid function is not optimal, many hundreds of enzymatic processes in the body are interrupted, resulting into numerous health issues. A case in point is a common thyroid problems. Let's revisit our senses and have an overview of disrupted thyroid. One problem is hypothyroidism, which is due to the lack of iodine, which occurs due to sluggish thyroid. And this occurs when there is an underperformance of the thyroid gland. One cause of hypothyroidism is Hashimoto or lymphocytic thyroiditis. It is an autoimmune disease, which means that your immune system is attacking your cells and organs. Another is goiter. Goiter is a symptom of hypothyroidism, which can be stimulated by nitrates in foods and synthetic fertilizers, as well as in well water located in farms. These are goitrogenic. That means that it stimulates the goiter formation. Goiter is easy to diagnose because there is an enlargement of the thyroid gland for about 50 to 100 times its normal size. How do you correct nutrient deficiencies that cause hypothyroidism? One is avoiding goitrogenic foods, and this is the way to prevent or heal goiter. Eating iodine-rich foods is another way to correct this deficiency. What are these other symptoms of hypothyroidism? Cold hands and feet, goiter, weight gain, sensitivity to cold, elevated cholesterol, dry skin and hair, headache and muscle aches, tingling hands, slow heart rate, elevated liver enzymes, constipation, fluid retention, loss of 1/3 of the outer eyebrow, depression, poor memory, excessive prolonged menstrual period, sometimes puffy face, enlargement of the tongue, and brittle nails. You don't have to have all these symptoms. Appearance of several of these symptoms can be signs of hypothyroidism. What about hyperthyroidism? Hyperthyroidism is the opposite of hypothyroidism because this occurs when there's too much production of thyroid hormone in the body, resulting in overactive thyroid. And this can lead to thyroid gland swelling, which is also called goiter. Hyperthyroidism may be caused by Graves' disease, excessive iodine in the body, or by throat cancers. Graves' disease is another autoimmune disorder which is due to the overproduction of thyroid hormones. The symptoms can be high blood pressure, weight loss, heart palpitations, fatigue, increased appetite, increased sweating, trembling and shaking, irritability, thinning hair, and sleep problems. There are numerous factors that lead to thyroid health decline. What I'll be discussing now are the factors that lead to various thyroid health problems, such as hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, Hashimoto's disease, and Graves' disease. These factors are as follows. Number one is the lack of certain nutrients, which include iodine, iron, selenium, tyrosine, zinc, and the B vitamins B1, B6, B12, and the fat-soluble vitamins vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin D, and vitamin K. You see, the thyroid gland is very sensitive to nutrient signaling, and the lack of these nutrients can lead to Hashimoto's disease or Graves' disease or hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism. That's the reason why we have to observe these nutrients to be balanced in our bodies. The second factor is carcinogens. Carcinogens in foods like nitrates, which are used as preservatives for cured meats, can also lead to these thyroid problems mentioned. And so, we have to avoid these cured meats, especially if we have thyroid problems. These meats if I may mention, are sausages, hot dogs, corned beef, tocino, longanisa, luncheon meats. These are some of the cured meats. Nitrates are preservatives that make the meat stay pink or red and they do not turn brown. Synthetic nitrates are used to preserve these cured meats. The third factor is alcohol intake and smoking. So if you don't want to have thyroid health decline or thyroid problem, then you have to avoid alcohol intake and smoking. The other problem are environmental toxins. Pesticides and synthetic fertilizers are a growing concern today because they are present in farmed fish. They are also present in vegetables and fruits because they get into the soil. So we have to be very careful with what vegetables, what fruits, and what fish we take. The other factor is stress. When we are chronically stressed, then it hurts the thyroid gland and the adrenal glands. And of course, when we lack sleep, you see, we need at least 7 hours sleep. That's the ideal. And when we lack 7 hours sleep every night, then it could lead to thyroid health decline. The last two factors are drugs like antibiotics can also lead to thyroid health decline. The other one is gut dysbiosis or imbalance of our gut microflora, our good bacteria. You see, when there is an imbalance in our microflora or good bacteria, it could result to leaky gut. And leaky gut is one of the reasons why there is thyroid health decline. I will now discuss the safe and natural remedies for thyroid problems. Number one of this is iodine. Iodine is critical for thyroid health. When you lack iodine in the body, it could result to hypothyroidism. And the overproduction of iodine in the body can also lead to hyperthyroidism. But bear this in mind. Iodine must be balanced. That is very critical because if not, it could lead to either hypo or hyper. You see, iodine is necessary or essential for the production of thyroid hormones, both the T3 and the T4. The T3, triiodothyronine, and the T4, thyroxine hormone. So, without iodine or when iodine is lacking, you can also lack T3 or T4, and that could lead to thyroid health decline. You get iodine, dietary iodine, from seaweeds. The seaweed kelp has the greatest concentration of dietary iodine. Other seaweeds like nori and tulsi are also rich in iodine. You can take seaweeds in your diet or in your snacks in order for you to have iodine in the body, to have iodine in the body. The second remedy, which is a must for those with thyroid gland problem is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is an adaptogenic herb which is very good for stress. It has a calming effect. So if you are stressed, ashwagandha is very helpful. But do you know that ashwagandha is also proven to treat both thyroid gland and adrenal gland problems? So if you have hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, or if you have Hashimoto's disease, or if you have Graves' disease, it is a must that you take ashwagandha. This had been used for almost 5,000 years by the traditional Chinese medicine doctors in treating thyroid gland problem as well as adrenal gland problem. And clinically, it's been proven to be successful in treating both hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. The third natural remedy for thyroid gland problem are the B vitamins, which are essentials in improving thyroid function, most especially the B1 or the thiamine and the B12. B12 is basically from meat of animals. So anyone who is on vegan diet or vegetarian diet is seriously at risk of B12 deficiency and also likely to be thiamine deficient. B12 benefits the thyroid health by balancing hormones naturally and treating chronic fatigue syndrome. Some of the top vitamin B12 foods include grass-fed beef, beef liver, lamb, sardines, salmon, tuna, eggs, raw milk, raw cheese, and cottage cheese. The same benefits are offered by thiamine. Insofar as thyroid health and normal functions are concerned, thiamine also supports metabolism, and some of the top thiamine foods are unrefined grains, asparagus, green peas, Brussels sprouts, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, pistachios, creamy mushrooms or known as button mushrooms, ground flaxseed, spinach, and herring or tamban or tunsoy fish. The fourth are the fat-soluble vitamins A, E, D, and K. These vitamins are critical for nutrients that support the thyroid in maintaining functions as follows. Vitamin A, for example, is involved in the production and secretion of thyroid hormones because they assist in converting T4 to T3. This normalizes TSH or the thyroid stimulating hormone and aids the thyroid in iodine uptake. Vitamin A can be best found in orange to red vegetables in color, like carrots, sweet potato, winter squash, red and yellow pepper, and in dark leafy green vegetables. Vitamin D deficiency is associated with an increased risk of hyperthyroidism aside from bone density loss. The best source of vitamin D3 is the sun. When you expose yourself to the sun every day, every morning for 30 minutes to 1 hour, that is very good and favorable to the thyroid gland. The good food dietary sources of vitamin D and which can be easily absorbed into the body are wild-caught salmon, sardines, egg yolk, fermented dairy, and mushrooms. The fifth dietary essential is selenium. Selenium has very powerful antioxidant-like functions. Studies reveal that selenium helps balance out T4 or thyroxine hormone in the body. Taking a therapeutic dose of selenium every day has also been shown to benefit overall thyroid function. Foods that are great sources of selenium are yellowfin tuna, wild-caught halibut, canned sardines, grass-fed beef, beef liver, turkey, chicken, eggs, spinach, and Brazil nuts. The sixth dietary essential for thyroid health is zinc. As we know, zinc is a trace mineral required for thyroid hormone synthesis, amongst other vital processes that upregulates antioxidants and also a healthy immune response. That's the importance of zinc for thyroid hormone health. Number 7, probiotics. Probiotics are critical for digestive function. The link between thyroid condition and gut dysbiosis, where leaky gut syndrome had been shown clinically. Leaky gut is a problem where a protein like gluten can leak through the gut and get into the bloodstream and cause inflammation throughout the body, as well as inflammation of the thyroid gland. So taking probiotics is a must for healing leaky gut syndrome. Taking supplements of billions of probiotics with around 10 or more than strains is great for this purpose. To overcome signs and symptoms of leaky gut, I recommend that you consume more probiotic foods such as yogurt, raw cheese, coconut, kefir, natto, kimchi, and other cultured vegetables, which could include achara. Also, fermented bread and kvass, a Russian drink. Number 8, and this is the last natural remedy, proteolytic enzymes. Proteolytic enzymes are digestive enzymes that break down proteins. They are so great in reducing inflammation, especially if you have autoimmune related thyroid condition like Hashimoto or Graves' diseases. Taking proteolytic enzymes like pancreatine, trypsin, chymotrypsin, bromelain, papain can benefit thyroid health by reducing inflammation of the thyroid gland. Lifestyle changes that are critical for thyroid health are stop smoking or stop intake of alcohol, take a good sleep habit, and eat only natural whole foods. If you can do these 8 natural remedies that I mentioned, you're going to see great results in your thyroid function. Sometimes you can even find a blended formula as well as those ingredients that can support thyroid and adrenal gland function. If you stick correcting nutritional deficiencies and observe changes in your lifestyle patterns, that contribute to thyroid health risk, I'm sure your thyroid problem will be solved or will be reduced. I wish and pray your good thyroid health and well-being. And to those with thyroid problems, I pray that you will be healed. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth.